Hello, my name is Clarence,
And I'm Jamal.
and this is the End User Report. Two guys sitting uncomfortably close to one another.
Hmm.
Today's discussion, we're going to talk about Google. There seems to be a conception out there that Google is merely a search engine, or at least a lot of end users feel that way. And today we kind of want to open their eyes as far as giving them some information on Google as a company.
Well, let's go with the history. The original founders of Google was Larry and Page and Sergey Brin. They were Stanford University students in the computer science department. They created a program called BackRub back in 1996, and what BackRub basically did was operate on the Stanford University servers, and it operated as a search engine for the Stanford University campus. In 1997, Sergey and Larry decided to change the name of BackRub to what we now know as Google. And jumping ahead, really in 2001, which is a big thing, was Eric Schmidt became the chairman of Google, and that's kind of where things really started jumping off, because within another 3 years, in 2004 of August, Google started its IPO, initial public offering, and they offered their stock at $85 per share.
Well, really quick, let's talk about what made Google revolutionary as far as a search engine goes. Google was not the first. Lycos, Ask Jeeves, which is now Ask.com, which does anyone even use that?
No.
Yeah. And InfoSeek all came before it. And basically, the way that they searched was you would type in a search word, and it would search the web through how many times that word comes up in the page. PageRank, which is what Google used, actually found the relationships between web pages and based its results on relevance. So that's really what made Google stand out from the fray, so to speak. But looking forward, Google today has become more than just a search engine. It's actually a computing, internet search, and advertising company. They make their money through AdWords. And what that does, a company goes to Google, they determine what's going to be their key term. Every time you search that term, it's going to make their ads pop up. Every time you click on one of those ads, you're making Google money.
Let me give you a little sampling of some of Google's offerings. Obviously, they do search, Google Me, images, Google Maps, Google News, Desktop, Earth, Chrome, don't forget Chrome OS, Android, which everybody knows is popular in a lot of the phones already. And if you really want a really great review of an Android phone, Clarence gives a great review of the Android Fascinate from Verizon.
Shameless plug alert.
Please check that out. Seriously, it's
Yeah, we know that Google offers a lot of services.
Well, my question's for you though, and since I'm listing all the stuff, what is your favorite Google app?
I have to say my favorite Google app is probably Gmail, now that it's got the actual calling feature. It's a really nice feature. Not only can you check your mail, you can actually make phone calls anywhere in the U.S. still now for free, at least until the end of the year. If you have a Google Voice account, you can actually link it to your Google Voice account, and it'll actually have a caller ID show up in your inbox. You can take your Google Voice account and actually have it calls forwarded to your cell phone. Great app.
My favorite is Google Voice, because no matter how much I don't pay my cell phone bill, someone can still reach me.
Okay. I'm going to have to remember that, because at least a couple of days a week I try to call you. The number you have
Google
dialed
Voice
is
is
currently
awesome,
disconnected.
man. I love it.
Just start calling you Google Voice. Ridiculous. Get some freaking money together. What are your feelings on Google as a company?
Google as a company, I think they offer search is excellent. But I think they're jack of all trades, a master of one, which is the search, obviously. I think they put a lot of offerings half-ass out there. A lot of times they don't really think about the end user's privacy. For example, Google Buzz was a great example of that, where they just introduced Google Buzz to everybody, and anyone who had Gmail, all of a sudden their contacts, their phone numbers were all being ported out through Google Buzz.
Well,
And
you act like you're surprised by it. Remember Google's mission statement to make the world's information universally accessible, keyword, and useful.
yeah, pretty scary, guys.
I mean, like you said, Google has become a jack of all trades. I think they offer good products and good services. I like the fact that they kind of bundle their services. For example, iGoogle let you kind of set up your own homepage. You can put your Google Calendar right on your homepage, and you can also look at your Gmail right from that site. It is kind of nice. You can have you can kind of have the weather right there for you. You can also have sports there if you like. But the thing is, like you said, it's a jack of all trades, master of none. You seem to feel like, well, yeah, they put out products, but they don't really support as far as troubleshooting and
No, they'll
anything
never.
like that.
No, I think a classic example of the integration is I purchased a Google Android phone, and the initial setup was so easy. All I had to do was just put in my Gmail address, and then everything just went into my phone, my Gmail, my Google Voice. They incorporated my account with my cell phone company. It
What do
just
you
worked
see
out.
in the future for Google?
Well, we know that Google TV is going to be coming out soon, and I'm anxious to see how that's going to play out in the market. Are they going to offer it for free? Are they trying to be a competitor to Apple TV, or are they? What kind of partnerships are they going to have with like Hulu or Netflix? And how will the competitors like NBC or CBS deal with it? So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and whether or not. A lot of times Google, they almost threaten to do things just to maybe it's a good thing to kind of get the competition to do things. Maybe this is just a threat to like, hey, we're going to create Google TV, or they might actually implement this. So we'll see.
I see more innovation in Google's future. Like you said, Google TV is coming out, I believe, later this month. And as far as that goes, like I said, it's going to work with cable boxes, so you're actually going to be able to use the internet while you're watching TV. As far as I know right now, HBO, TNT, and CNN are all going to be available on Google TV. What I see Google doing here in the future is they're going to be expanding into other areas, specifically the cell phone market. Latest reports that I heard is that right now, as far as control, Apple controls about 24-25% of the market. Android is right behind them now, holding steady right about 20%. So, and I see them gaining a lot of steam, especially if Apple goes through with the iOS 4 lockdown. If you jailbreak their phones, they're talking about shutting it down. Android right now is open source. That's something that's not going to happen. So, pretty much, I bought an Android phone based on that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the advantages of having an Android phone because of that feature.
Other things to look out for. Google also acquired LineType. It's a mobile typing company. So they're working on improving their texting capabilities, to put another notch on their belt and to gain another step on Apple. Google Chrome is actually going to start using something called false start. And what this does, it actually cuts down on the back and forth communication between browser and server. So it's going to allow your pages to load faster. Also, they are using a technology called WebP to cut image sizes down on web pages by 40%, allowing images to load faster. So I see Google just kind of expanding into other markets. And now what I see them doing is they're looking to ways to improve the services that are popular right now. So Google's going to make some money. They're going to get a lot bigger. I think Google's going to become one of those companies. Next stop, bioterrorism and zombie creation.
Oh no. Well, really, you're absolutely right. Google is definitely going to expand. What you're going to see them doing is they're going to be more into your home thus the Google TV. They're also trying to get into the enterprise market, which Gmail now has what is called an exchange style Gmail, where you can actually use it in a corporate setting. So you can actually, instead of paying thousands of dollars for an exchange server, you can just basically set up Gmail, put all your employees in there, and it works as corporate mail. Can't get any simpler or cheaper than that. So definitely you're going to see Google in your home, trying to get access to your home in terms of, using Google products like the TV. They're even offering Google online services, which they're trying to do with the fiber optic services. They're even talking about venturing into offering cell phone services. We'll see how that plays
Yeah,
out.
last I heard, the actual Google phone
Yeah.
is supposed to be more of a business-based phone. So I think they're
So-
definitely putting themselves in a position where they're going to be bringing in a lot of money.
So I think the conclusion here is that Google's not going away anytime soon. Don't get frustrated with a lot of the Google apps and products because they just don't support it. I honestly, in my own opinion, they put the products that they want to do. They put it. It's half-ass in a way. Excuse my French here. But the products they really want to concentrate on, they put full force into it, and they make great products. But,
Yeah, I mean, Google is a great search engine. We know that.
Yep.
They recently are making improvements on that as well. I think they released instant search.
Yeah, which is actually pretty neat. You type it in, and it kind of
It
guesses what
searches
you're.
as you're typing, which is
Yeah,
kind of
so-
nice. And I think that's a direct correlation to all the hype that you're seeing now about Bing coming out.
Mhm.
And supposedly Bing and Yahoo are Google's rivals. Let's be realistic. It's
Yeah,
not.
No.
Almost 75% of all internet searches are done in Google. Google has gotten so big, it's actually a pulp culture term. You don't say, well, let's go to the internet and look it up. Nobody says that. I say, well, just Google it.
And nobody says, I'm going to go Bing it.
No, that's ridiculous.
All right. Well, on that note, we have a feature that we usually talk about. It's giving some love. And what would you like to give love to this week?
I'm showing love to EA. And yeah, I know I've had a track record. Every time we're talking about showing some love, it's been about games.
He
No
loves
different
him
here.
some EA.
Okay? I'm showing love to EA as far as downloadable content for Mass Effect 2. Last week they released the third downloadable content for it, Lair of the Shadow Broker. I've played through all three now. It's epic.
Nice.
There's this other way to describe it. It's just epic.
Nice.
They just keep expanding the Mass Effect universe. So any of you Mass Effect 2 owners, it's a great playthrough. It's going to add a couple extra hours, and for those of you guys who are really into the game, it allows you to start a relationship with Liara again. So all you Mass
Ooh.
Effect 2 players,
So I can have
Check
sex
it
with
out.
aliens?
dude,
Awesome.
I know you're not even going there with some of the anime you watch.
I'm so into Mass Effect now.
Mass Effect, you know,
So my
you sit at home and watch Sailor Moon. You know.
my giving some love is to two people. Steam, which is the online account for basically cloud for gaming. They offer some really good prices on gaming. If you're really into gaming, you should check out Steam.com. It's a really great interface. It allows for you to do community forums. You can create guilds. It's excellent online experience.
So you actually played something else other than World of Warcraft?
Yes, which is next to my other giving of love is
Oh,
the
Lord.
Valve, because Valve creates this two zombie games which I love, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, and they just keep updating the content. They have a weekly blog every Thursday. They add what is called a mutation. You gotta check it out. It's really good. So thanks again, Valve. Thanks again, Steam. Excellent job.
Well, that does just about wrap it up here for us at the End User Report. This is Clarence.
This is Jamal.
Remember, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to comment and subscribe on YouTube. If you want to email us a question, you can send us an email at theenduserreports at twcny.rr.com.